If you really think you can walk into a gun store, point at a gun, swipe your card, and walk out like you're buying a pack of gum, you've been lied to. And the wildest part is the people who told you it's too easy to buy a gun, they're the same ones who made it harder. Watch this.
I'm just hopping on here to say that y'all need to stop letting the left convince you that it's so easy for people to purchase a gun. I just went to purchase a gun yesterday, my first gun, and it was probably the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Like, buying a gun and boarding a domestic flight are two of the most difficult things to do in the United States of America. People cannot just walk into stores and buy guns. Nobody can just get on a plane. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Actually, I do know why, but we won't get into all that. But stop letting people convince you that it's just so easy and anybody can do it if they want to, because it's really not. It's actually extremely difficult.
Now, let's talk about it. First of all, shout out to her for saying the quiet part out loud. Because for years, we've been told this fantasy that you can just waltz into a gun store and arm yourself like it's Grand Theft Auto. No age requirement, no ID, no paperwork, no background check. Just feels. That's the narrative, and it's honestly nonsense. Here's the part that always kills me. Anti-gun politicians convinced America that buying a gun should be hard. No, it should be hard for criminals to get guns. It should be easy for law-abiding citizens. That is literally the foundation of the Second Amendment. If you are a law-abiding citizen, you should be able to walk into a gun store, fill out the paperwork, run the background check, pass it, pay, and leave with your firearm. That's not chaos, that's constitutional order. And people act like instant background checks are magic tricks. You walk in, you give them your information, they run it through a federal database, you get a green light, red light, or delay. That's technology. This isn't 1842 where a guy rides a horse to Washington to check your criminal history. It's instant. But criminals, they don't do that. They don't walk into licensed dealers. They don't fill out 4473 forms. They don't worry about straw purchase flags. They don't worry about smelling like weed and getting denied. They steal guns. They buy them on the street. They trade for them. No background check, no paperwork, no waiting period. So tell me something. If criminals already bypass the system, who are all these new restrictions actually aimed at? You, the law-abiding person. And that's the scam. Every time some psychopath does something evil, the solution somehow becomes, let's make it harder for the people who followed the rules. That's like saying someone drove drunk, so now everybody who owns a car has to wait 5 days before they can start their engine. Who is that stopping? And don't get me started on waiting periods. You already passed the background check. You're legally cleared. But now you need to sit in timeout for 3 to 5 days for what? Cooling off? If someone is planning something evil, do you think they're standing at the gun counter like, damn, guess I'll reconsider my life choices? Or have they already planned this to begin with and maybe even know about the waiting period and have factored that into their planning? And if anything, they'll just go to get the gun on the streets. And here's the part nobody likes to admit. Every single time this country experiences instability, riots, civil unrest, police stretch thin, guess who floods gun stores? The same people who voted for the laws that made it harder to buy one. I watched it happen. In states with the strictest laws, people were scrambling and scraping to buy guns, only to get slapped in the face by waiting periods or outright purchase restrictions. And suddenly, the conversation changes from, it should be hard to, why can't I protect myself right now? Because you voted for it. And this idea that making it harder equals making it safer, that's the most backwards logic I've ever heard. If your goal is to stop criminals, then make criminal possession devastatingly expensive from a freedom standpoint. Enhance sentencing for illegal gun possession. Make stealing a firearm an automatic felony with serious time. Increase deterrence. But we don't focus on that. We focus on background checks on top of background checks because the goal isn't stopping criminals. The goal is making gun ownership socially exhausting. And then there's the constitutional piece. It says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. You might not like that. You might wish it says something else, but it doesn't. And here's what's wild. Nobody is forcing you to own a gun. If you want to rely entirely on the government for your safety, by all means, go ahead. There's no law stopping you from outsourcing your survival, but you don't get to force everyone else to do the same stupid shit. That's the difference. And this is why I always say they want to defang everyone because they're afraid of everyone. Not criminals, regular people, which is crazy when you realize something. The militia they keep pretending is some mysterious government unit, that's you, fool. It was always you. And that's why. See, this hat right here, you see? I am the militia. This isn't some cosplay slogan. This is a reminder. You are your own first responder. When seconds matter, you're not calling a politician, you're not calling a gun control activist. You're on your own. And a lot of people learned that the hard way when things got chaotic and they suddenly realized they couldn't just go buy a firearm because the laws they supported made it harder. You never realize how alone you are until you are alone. That's what this represents, not rebellion, responsibility. The militia was never the government. It was regular people protecting their families and their communities. And if that resonates with you, if you understand that freedom comes with responsibility, I'm gonna put a link in the description section of this video for you to check out the hats, the shirts, the drinkware, you name it. Hit the link in the description section and check out the I'm the Militia line. Because at the end of the day, this isn't about left or right. It's about whether you understand that your safety is your responsibility and nobody is coming to save you. One thing's for certain and two things are for sure. Politicians and tech giants don't want gun content to be recommended to you. And we're all fighting this culture war together. Now you can help do your part by liking, commenting, subscribing to the channel, but most importantly, sharing this video with at least one person. Together we can stop the suppression of our 2A rights. And don't forget to click the link in the description section of this video for the products that I mentioned in this video.